Hey everybody, it's your bud, AVT Pro. Feeling super sleepy. Super duper. So I just got in from church, obviously, and it is Palm Sunday. So I want to say happy Palm Sunday to everybody. And so I've been pulled out of the muck and mire and got dressed and put on some clothes and had the fortunate blessing of going to the Lord's house, which I am very thankful. I'm glad when they said, come on to the Lord's house. If there's any place you want to be. So, um, it's raining today. That's also obvious. And, um, and church was very good. It's always very good. Always. And, had a beautiful time, and I was able to praise the Lord. So, uh, interesting. Oh, this button is about to fall off. Interesting thing. A couple of interesting things I noticed. I'm in the house a lot, and I don't have a lot of friends, and but the friends that I do have are very, 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 very good friends, and so being around people, like I'm in the house a lot to where I'm not around people a lot. And so when I went out, I thought I tried to get to church a little bit early. I was a little hungry, and I stopped at the McDonald's. And this young girl, I asked her for McGriddle, egg McGriddle, so sausage, and cheese, egg McGriddle, right? And she says, "Oh, we completely out of egg McGriddles." So I said, "Let me have the next best thing." None. I said, "What's that? What else do you have that's like that?" She says, "Well, we have muffins." It's about to thunder. Okay. So, so let me have that. Let me have the next thing, McMuffin. So she gave it to me, and then when I opened it up, it was only cheese and eggs on it. And I've never seen. I didn't even know you could do that and consider it an order. So I brought it back to her. I took a picture of it because I thought it was funny, right? I'm like, I never said I gotta take a picture of this. This is, and then I just out of the house having fun. Matter of fact, I was taking pictures everywhere. I took a picture of a little boy, had a little hoodie on, a little boy, and then that whole Trayvon thing just really hit home when you see a little young kid, Yeah, he has a hoodie on. I took a picture of him. He came back and said, "What's that picture for?" I said, "You know what? My heart just went out." Because I just, it made me think of Trayvon. So, smart kid. Anyway, so, anyway, the girl, I bring her back and she says, "Well, let me get the manager." And I'm like, "Okay." I said, "What is this?" I said, I asked for a song, and she's like, "No, you didn't ask for that." I'm like, "Yeah, I did ask for that." And so she started arguing with me, and this is at McDonald's, right? And she's young, probably 24, 23, manager, right? And so, they just argue, and this is their job, is to make sure that I get what I want and that I'm happy, and a happy clown face, and but they're just gonna talk crap and say you're in the wrong and all of this other stuff. And I'm trying to get to church, and I'm a little bit late, so now I'm a little bit apprehensive. I'm like, I see the setup, Satan is out there, and he's just starting stuff, especially at this time when the victory of Christ is obviously at hand, So okay, I said I said so I'm like no, and then she started saying like little smart whippet things, and I'm like okay, uh, like I'm like she started saying all this smart little stuff. And I'm like, no, that's like way out of line, and it's way, you know, beyond. So I'm like, I forgot. I said, wait a minute. So she trying to make, well, this is the next thing. No, and then she said, no, the pancakes is the next thing. Like, pancakes is the next thing. I was like, I just went to like number 4 and then number 3. Okay, that's the next thing, you know. And I'm like, if I start thinking like that, I'll be messed up, you know. So let's get this straight, you know. And she just arguing, so I just started to lay into her, and so that's which is really ridiculous because I, you know, man of my age and caliber, you know, I should not be arguing with that. But I'm like, I'm on my way to church, and here comes some mess, and just from stopping in, and I'm vocalizing it, and I'm like, you know, what the heck? You know, this is all just some mess. So on the way home, church was great. On the way home, I get on the bus and I go back to the McDonald's. But I went and ordered some food across the street from, you know, one of those Save a Lot Family Dollars or something like that. It was really great because I was able to buy something and actually have, you know, I felt like it was actually what I was buying. The money that I spent, I got what I, you know, and it was like nothing, you know, $6. I'm like, I got a lot of stuff, you know. And so it was nice. I'm just going to go there for the sake of it. So, but the bus is coming. I don't drive my car yet. I'm going to start driving now, man. I just, you know, but anyway. So I get on the bus, and then before long, here comes another guy. Before he pulls out, here comes another guy, and he's like, he says, I just got off the other bus. I got on the wrong bus going the wrong way. And so he says, okay, well, did he give you something? He says, no, I got an all-day pass somewhere, so you don't have to pay again with that. So he looks around, and he says, shows the guy, and he says, like, okay. You know, he says, okay, that'll work. And, and so the dude sits down. And then there's this woman now, she's coming out of McDonald's. Now, you could tell by the way she's dressed. She's like one of them bag ladies that are really clean, like the white lady, you know. It's a black woman, but dressed like in such nice, white, clean stuff. It's like, I'm homeless, but I still got my pride and my, you know, my coof, even though, you know, I think she almost got hit by a 2x for one of those big cars or SUVs, and she was like in the driveway. But she was on a bus. She got on the bus before me, and so the bus goes around the hospital and pulls out of the hospital, and so she was pulling out there. And as she was getting off, the bus had stopped, was almost stopped at the stop or didn't stop at the stop. And she says, I'm getting off here. And it was beyond the bus stop. So she gets off, and then as she gets off, she pulls out her card and rings it through. So the bus driver had stopped to let her off, even though it was beyond the bus. I know some bus drivers that would be like, you know, I mean, that were my friends that were just jacks. You know, they just like, sorry, you gotta wait till the next stop. But this guy was nice. I let her off. So the guy that had got on with the pass earlier, he says, "Oh, you gotta pay to get off the bus too?" Says, "Man," and he's talking stuff. And he's a little short guy, but he got a big voice, right? And so the bus driver is a big guy with a big voice, and he says, "Hey, you know, she didn't pay to get on. Let me just do my job, all right?" And he's like, "Well, you know, I could says, I could tell you had an attitude of the way when I got on." And I'm like, you know, you're supposed to pay to get on the bus. On my bus, you just like, he says, "Oh, this ain't no bus, your bus. This is a public bus." I know, you know. So he's a real smart guy, right? And they're just going off. And so here's another argument that in the little time that I've gone out the house, is just 2 arguments. So I just want to say, you know, this is a guy doing his public service correctly, okay? And then the other one was a girl just was not doing her job correctly. Matter of fact, she said something else snippet to me as I was walking away. And then I just said, wait a minute. I went back to her and I said, "Excuse me, is that good customer service? Is that good customer?" And she ain't say nothing. So, you know, because really, you know, if you know how to talk to people and you know how to relate to people and do your job correctly, you never know what could happen. You know, you can get paid tens of thousands of dollars just from talking to people the right way. You know, and matter of fact, I've had that happen. I was a salesperson, and I was just really nice customer service, and the person came back with so many computers. She bought all my computers out. I was like the hero of my job, and it's just from just talking to people right. And so here was things that weren't worth arguing about. The guy was on the bus. He was warned, it's raining out. I'm like, dude, you should be quiet before you stop this bus. I didn't say nothing. But as I was getting off the bus, that's what I'm thinking. You know, I got to go back in the wet rain. You know, you on the bus. And so he started to talk to me, bro. You look nice, and I see you got your pounds. I'm like, here comes the damn devil again, you know. So that's what I'm saying, y'all. Watch out, talk to each other, and you know it's so easy and to get started. And it must be a, with Palm Sunday and all, the devil get busy. So, nobody is, without fault, especially not me. But I'm just saying. Just a word, try to talk to each other nice. Don't be arguing over nothing these days. Don't let nobody draw you into an argument over nothing, Avoid it the best you can. Where the devil is, flee. Go the other way. Don't sit there and try to fight him. That's what my pastor says. They bigger than you, just, be wise, God bless you. Be wise, be kind, be gentle, try to talk to each other nicely. All right, bye. That was my message. All right, bye.